Continuing our discussion of money management. Specifically, we'll be focusing on how you can balance your income and expenses. You want to make sure, while managing your money, that the money coming in, or your income, is either greater than or equal to the money going out, or your expenses. This is to help you avoid going into debt. To do this, you'll first have to keep track of your income. Income is one side of the money balance scale. It's the money that's coming in. So let's just look at a few examples of sources of income. Here we have Dan, who has a part-time job as well as gets money gifts, and in total has an estimated monthly income of $544. On the other hand, we also have Bob, who does pet sitting or babysitting and receives an allowance, resulting in an estimated monthly income of $160 per hour. Take some time to think about what your sources of income are and how much you make either per week, per month, or per year, and then try to determine your estimated monthly income. Remember that your paycheck amount might fluctuate, making predicting your income harder, but still possible. Try to estimate to the best of your abilities. After you determine your income, you then need to look at expenses. Now, expenses are what is on the other side of the balance scale. It's the money going out. Expenses are what you as the holder of your money choose to spend on, whether that's offline shopping, e-commerce, etc. What can be helpful to determine your expenses is to first group them into different categories, such as gas, food, entertainment, and then calculate what percent of your total spending is used for each category. Let's take a look at how this all comes together in an example spending plan. A spending plan is where you list out your income and expenses in order to figure out whether you're in the red or in the green. Let's walk through what I mean by this. First, you'll want to determine your time frame. For example, Dan here is a junior in high school. He loves pets, enjoys eating out with friends, and is into gaming. He's decided his time frame to be the month of November. This means that everything that he calculates here is in that time frame. First, he lists out his income sources, such as part-time job and babysitting. That results in a total income of $670 per month, because remember, this is the time frame. Then he lists out his expenses. Similar to what we just talked about, it's helpful to group your expenses into different categories. Dan here has grouped them into food, social events, and entertainment. His totals from expenses come to $730. Now that we have the total income per month and the total expenses per month, we can calculate the income minus expenses. For Dan, that's minus $60 per month. What does this mean? Well, it essentially means that our good friend Dan is losing money every month because his expenses are over his income. If you do the same activity, you'll hopefully be able to determine whether your income is equal to your expenses, greater than your expenses, or less than your expenses. If your income is less than your expenses and you're in the red, you'll want to look at what you can do to change that. For example, here, Dan seems to be spending a lot of money on food. For example, he spends $180 a month eating out with friends. Perhaps he could change this and instead try to bring food from home, rather than paying for it at a restaurant. You can do something similar and try to change some sort of habit based on your spending plan. Once you do that, keep track of the changes in the same spending plan and see whether this income minus expenses changes. Hopefully this was helpful, and continue to track your income and expenses to figure out whether your income is equal to your expenses, since that is ultimately the goal. Thank you, and see you next time.